each other. So find yourself in a comfortable seated position. You can cross your legs, you could sit on your knees, you can sit on a block if that's more comfortable. Just find that comfortable seat of Sukhasana and maybe close your eyes or just gaze towards the mat. You might take your hands to your knees, palms up, maybe touching your index finger and thumbs together, or maybe palms down if you feel like you need to be a little more grounded. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and then just begin to breathe in and out through your nose. As you breathe comfortably, whatever feels like a normal to you, turn your attention on your breath. This is the pranayama or breath work part of class. We're training ourselves, we're practicing to focus on one thing. When it comes to meditation, people often ask, how do you just empty your mind? Well, you don't. You're practicing focusing on one thing. Usually we find our breath because it's easy to find. We're doing it, we have to do it. So as you breathe, inhaling and exhaling, thoughts are going to come into your head, maybe worries, maybe anxieties in this time of uncertainty. Maybe you're quarantined at home, maybe you aren't working, maybe your children are not at school. So let's bring every time these thoughts come into your mind, just refocus on your breath. You might take it to an Iyaji breath or an ocean breath, kind of constricting the back of your throat, making sort of a ha sound inside your head. Generating a little more heat. As you do this, you may find yourself feeling more grounded. Have the sensation of your sit bones being grounded to the mat. Imagine the pull of gravity securing you inside your body in this present moment. Maybe as you inhale, you lengthen the space between your ribs and your hips. You ground those sit bones to the mat, and as you exhale, lengthen through your spine, up through the crown of your head, and imagine your breath supporting your body. Maybe your neck and your shoulders relax. Maybe the tongue drops from the roof of your mouth. Maybe your forehead smooths, your jaw muscles relax. Notice that your heart rate slows down automatically. I'm going to read something from this book, Taking the Leap by Pema Chodron. And it's just focusing on when times are uncertain. When things fall apart and we can't get the pieces back together, when we lose something dear to us, when the whole thing is just not working and we don't know what to do, this is the time when the natural warmth of tenderness, the warmth of empathy and kindness are just waiting to be uncovered, just waiting to be embraced. This is our chance to come out of our self-protecting bubble and to realize that we are never alone. This is our chance to finally understand that wherever we go, everyone we meet is essentially just like us. Our own suffering, if we turn toward it, can open us up to a loving relationship with the world. So today, as you go through your practice, when things get uncomfortable or difficult, or you want to quit or give up, turn toward that feeling. Just sit with it. Because because technically, when you feel an uncomfortable emotion, it doesn't last very long. It's all the thoughts that keep it going. So as we inhale and exhale, imagine that your rib cage expands, front to back, side to side. Let your belly expand. Sip in as much air as possible. Pause at the top of that inhalation and exhale. Feeling centered, having turned your focus inward, let's bring those fingertips to the side, grazing the mat. Inhale, raise your arms up overhead, bend those elbows, and just hold on to your opposite elbows. Maybe bring the upper arms back towards your ears, maybe even behind your ears, opening up the upper part of your body, kind of getting some flexibility into that thoracic spine. Inhaling, exhaling, lift through the abs. Lengthen the space between your ribs and your hips. If this is difficult with your shoulders, just open it up a little more. And we'll take a little circle from the waist up. Inhaling, exhaling, around, forward, and a little back bend. Breathe in, breathe out. And just go through that motion, whatever's comfortable to you. And when you've gone a couple of full revolutions, take it back the other direction. Lift out of your hips. Lengthen through your waist. Let your shoulder blades flatten against your upper back. Bring it around and then inhale back to the center. Exhale and goal post those arms, opening up across your chest. Another little back bend through the upper spine. Inhale, exhale. Reach your arms up and interlace your fingers, and let's place them on the back of our head. Just rest your head back in those hands. Inhale, exhale. Imagine relaxing, just going with it. If this is uncomfortable, how can you turn towards that feeling of uncomfortable? Metaphorically and for real. Inhale, exhale. Bring those elbows together and then curl forward, chin towards your chest. And maybe this is as far as you need to go. Or maybe you're feeling like, oh yeah, this feels pretty good, all the way up my spine. And you round even deeper into that stretch. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, curl inward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, curl inward. One more time. Inhale up. Reach those arms up and bring them out in front of you to the mat and walk them as far away as possible. In an active, kind of an active child's pose, you're not really in a child's pose, still in that comfortable seat. You might want to uncross your legs a little bit so you can tilt your pelvis a little forward and just reach those fingertips out in front. I want you to feel long through the side body, long through your spine. Maybe your forehead comes to the mat, maybe it doesn't. Whatever feels good to you. Maybe you want to bring your elbows towards the mat and just rest your forehead in the heels of your hands. Just take a moment there to breathe and open up through your hips. Maybe move around a little bit. Inhale, exhale, and walk those hands to the right. Reach them as far away from you as you can. Lengthen through the side body. Lift your belly. Create some space. And you do you, okay? You just go to the depth of each pose. that feels comfortable as you move towards the left, lifting up out of your hips, keeping both sit bones grounded, and walk those fingertips far away. Inhale, exhale. Bring your hands back through the center, grip the mat, and pull yourself up to your tabletop position. So our wrists are under our shoulders, our knees are under our hips. Spread those fingers wide and practice gripping the mat with the pads of your fingers. Think of maybe even gripping the mat with your thumb and pinky specifically, so you sort of create some tension through your palm, lifting yourself out of the heels of your hands. Inhale, exhale. Let's take it into a cow pose as we drop our belly and our chest and our shoulder blades come toward our spine. Lift the crown of your head and tail toward the ceiling. Take a deep breath here. And then exhale, pull that belly to your spine as you drop your head and tail towards the mat. Shoulder blades come apart. Inhale back through cow. Exhale back through cat. Maybe go through this a couple of times at your own pace. You might want to drop your hips towards your heels. Maybe that feels good. Or maybe shift them side to side. Whatever works for you today. That's what I want you to do. And when you do bring yourself back to your tabletop position, let's engage that core, generate a little heat. So we tuck our toes, and we're just going to lift our knees about an inch off the mat and hover in this modified plank position, breathing in, breathing out, wrapping your latissimus dorsi muscles, those muscles in your back. Imagine them wrapping around your rib cage so that as you engage your belly, you're using other core muscles as well. Inhale, exhale, lower those knees, and then drop back into cow. Exhale, round through cat. And let's take a little kind of a puppy pose. Inhale, exhale, slide your right hand out in front. Bring your chin and chest towards the mat. Your left elbow bends in close to your ribcage. Sit bones are up towards the ceiling. Maybe you don't get down this far, that's okay. Maybe you need to move this arm out to the side. Whatever feels best on your shoulders and your body. Getting a tiny back bend. Inhale, exhale, bring it back up. Tuck those toes and hover for 3 breaths. And 2. And 3. Lower down into cow. Exhale through cat. Inhale, exhale, slide your left hand out in front. Bring your chin and chest towards the mat. Lift those sit bones toward the ceiling. Lift your lower belly. Pull your abs in. Lengthen through that left arm and get a little extension through the shoulder. A little back bend in the upper spine. Inhaling, exhaling, slide back in. Tuck those toes, hover above the mat. Inhale, exhale. And if you want to add to this, maybe you bring your opposite hand and touch your opposite knee if you're feeling like you haven't moved much at all lately. Let's get a little core activating in here. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. 4 more. Just do what you can do. Stop when you're done. And then come back to your tabletop position. Inhale, exhale. This time, let's add a little twist to our little puppy pose. So as we inhale and slide that right arm out in front, we're going to thread the needle with the left arm up under that armpit. Sit bones to the ceiling. Side of your head and shoulder towards the mat. A couple of deep breaths here. And again, if you feel like you need more, maybe you extend your right leg out behind you. Maybe you bring the right arm up and wrap it behind your waist. Inhale, exhale. And bring it back around. And slide back up. Inhale through cow. Exhale through cat. And then as we take it through the left arm, Inhaling, exhaling, slide that arm out. Maybe you thread the needle. You do not have to do that. And then you bring the side of your head and shoulder towards the mat. Couple of deep breaths here. Maybe wrap that left arm around your waist. Maybe lift that left leg. Breathe in, breathe out. Engage that core. And then bring the knee back down. Slide that hand back in. Let's do another cat-cow or cow-cat. Inhale, exhale. And then let's tuck our toes and take it up to our first down dog position. So you may want to pedal your feet a couple of times, work through the toe joints, loosen up those arches, your heels, your Achilles, your calves. Pedal them out, inhaling, exhaling, spread those fingers wide, lengthen through your arms and let your head hang heavy. Maybe your heels don't touch the floor, that's okay. Maybe you want to bend those knees or soften them up. You might even want to round through the tailbone and lift your lower abs a little more. As you gaze back, somewhere between your ankles and your knees, maybe nod our head yes. Shake it, no. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's do another little core thing here as we walk our feet in closer to our hands. Now, if your hands don't touch the floor at all, that is okay. You could take your blocks here and have your hands up on blocks and do this. So either way, you're going to lift and try to touch those toes to the inside of your wrist. If you don't have blocks, it's more of a challenge because you're really having to lift way up toward the ceiling. But I want you to be successful, so do whatever you need to do. And gaze back. Let's go about 8. Breathe in, breathe out. Lift those low belly muscles, lifting those feet up off the floor. And then pause here. And let's take it, we're at the top of our mat. So maybe you want to relax your knees and just hang for a moment in a ragdoll pose. Inhale, exhale. As you pull your abs in, you create space for your pelvis to tip a little farther forward. Your sit bones are up towards the ceiling. Maybe your knee's a little soft. Weight is towards the balls of your feet or the midfoot at least. Maybe your hands hang above the floor. Maybe you put them on your shins. Maybe they touch, whatever it is. Let's pause there. Inhale, exhale. And we'll take a half lift or a flat back. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Sweep those arms out and up. And rise up. Reach way out of your hips. Inhaling, exhaling, hands come together, firm up those legs, and then inhale, exhale to Tadasana or mountain pose. Pause here, grounding those feet to the mat. You want your big toe joint, little toe joint, and heel to be firmly grounded in your standing, strong, rooted to the earth pose. Inhale, exhale. As we rise back up, inhale, arms come up, palms together, exhale, hands through heart center and forward fold. Step back to your first plank position. Now here, if you feel like you need to, come to your knees, okay? Otherwise, you may be up in a full plank position. I'm gonna do the modified version first. The chaturanga, we'll take our knees, chin, and chest to the mat and snake through for a little cobra. Flatten those shoulder blades against your upper back. Lift your lower abs. Inhale, exhale, and then come back through and meet me back in down dog. So there's your modified version for the chaturanga and vinyasa through to your down dog. You don't have to modify anything. You do you. Gaze back between those calves. Inhale, exhale, lift your low belly, maybe round the tailbone a little bit. Imagine making your back wide. And then inhale, let's lift that right leg, bend the knee, and let the foot kind of hang heavy as we keep our hands grounded to the mat, opening up our hips. Maybe circle that knee in one direction. Inhale, exhale, maybe you reverse it. Inhale, extend the leg. We're going to bring it through our hands. Inhale, exhale, lift those abs and bring that left knee to the mat. Inhale, rise up, low lunge, and let's deepen and open up the whole front side of that body. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, palms come together. Bring your hands to heart center. Lift and lengthen your spine as you bring that left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Maybe you want to tuck your left toes and lift that knee, firming up that leg and really creating some tension and length through your body. Bring it back through the center, hands to the mat. Lift up to your forward fold. Take those first two fingers, wrap them around your big toes. Maybe your knees are bent, that's okay. We're gonna inhale, lengthen through our spine. Exhale, I want you to pull with your arms and bring your belly to your thighs. Hinging at the hip, you're lifting your sit bones towards the ceiling. Chest towards your knees, face towards your shins, crown of the head towards the floor. Take 3 breaths here. And notice how every time you exhale, you go with it. You lean into that uncomfortable feeling, just like an uncomfortable emotion. Release those feet, hang for a moment. Inhale, half lift, exhale, fold, sweep those arms out and up, rise up, reach back, way back, palms come together. Inhale, exhale to Tadasana. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, arms up, palms come together through heart center, forward fold. Modify or not. Plank position, let's chaturanga and vinyasa through. Maybe this time you lift a little higher. Inhaling, exhaling, take it back to your down dog, however you want to get there. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale, lift that left leg and bend the knee. Let the foot hang heavy, hands grounded to the mat. Lift through your belly, maybe circle the knee in one direction. Maybe reverse that circle. Inhale, extend that leg. Exhale, bring the foot between your hands. Rise up with those arms. And then interlace your fingers and place them on the back of your head like you did in the beginning of class. Take a deep breath as you inhale and then exhale and sink into the pose. Opening up the front side of that body. Breathe through it. That's how you do it. Inhale, arms up, palms come together. Lift your abs as you turn to the left. Press those hands together. Open up your chest. Maybe tuck your toes. Maybe lift that knee off the mat and then firm up your leg. That's what's going to create the leverage for you to stay there and create tension, stretching, and strengthening at the same time. Bring it back through the center, hands to the mat. Lift up to your forward fold. Let's go a little deeper in our Padasana. Take those hands, turn them over. Fingertips touch your toe tips. Lift your feet and place the balls of your feet right on the palms of your hands. Your toes are touching the inside of your wrist. Maybe your knees are really bent. That's okay. You just do the best you can. Whatever you got, that's what you do. Inhale, lift for that half lift. Lift those abs up. Exhale and pull yourself to your legs as you lift your sit bones to the ceiling. Maybe you come a little deeper this time and give it 3 deep breaths. And then release those hands. Pause for a moment, maybe soften your knees as you get ready to take a deep breath. Sweep those arms out and up, rise up, reach back, way back. Exhale to Tadasana. And pause just for a moment. Let's get a little lateral stretch here. as we're in our Tadasana pose. Maybe your feet are together, maybe you have some space. I keep a little space between my feet because of my lower back, so you do you. Inhale, arms come up. Let's take that left hand and hold on to your right pinky side of your right hand. Lift through the belly, legs are firm as you reach, literally reach up and out of your hips. Maybe your hips go a little to the right, maybe not. Breathing, you're opening up your rib cage towards the ceiling. You can look up, but you don't have to. Inhale, exhale, rise back up, change hands. Lift up out of those hips. Notice how one side might feel a little different than the other. Reach out and rise back up. And getting ready to go a little deeper. Inhale, reach those hands up. Pull those abs tight. Interlace your fingers, all but the index finger. Like someone's got you by the wrist. Let them pull you way up to the ceiling. Inhale, get long and trace your fingers back across the ceiling towards the wall behind you. And just you do you. You go wherever you feel comfortable. If you feel compression in the low back, lift your abs. Firm your glutes. Maybe your hips come a little forward. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, take those hands to heart center. And pause in Tadasana. Inhaling, exhaling. We're going to take it to a Utkatasana or chair pose and get a little deeper in that twisting action. Inhale, exhale, sit back in your heels, lift your abs, lift your chest. Maybe you could sink a little lower. If it's too much having your arms out in front, just go ahead and bring them to chest to heart center because that's where we're going to go anyway. However, if you want to stay here while we generate a little heat in those legs, maybe your palms touch. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring those hands to heart center. Lengthen your spine. Inhale, exhale, take your left elbow outside that right thigh. Press your hands together to create some leverage to open up your chest. Maybe you open your arms. Maybe you reach that right arm around and hold on to the inside of your left thigh. Breathe in. And then release it and bring it back through the center. Inhale, exhale, sink a little lower. Maybe reach your arms out in front. Inhaling, exhaling. Bring those hands to heart center. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, turn to the left. Press those hands together. Create leverage. Maybe you open it up. Maybe you wrap that arm around your waist. Breathe deep. Maybe you look up to the ceiling. Maybe not. It's okay. Imagine getting long through the spine. And then release it and come back through the center. Inhale, exhale. Let's forward fold. And step back to our plank position. So now you can modify this whole round here by just coming to your knees. And when we go to the side plank, you're on a knee, okay? Or you can stay here. We're going to come over to the right side first. Reach those left fingertips to the ceiling. Lift through the midsection, lifting your hip to the sky. Maybe you're on just one leg. Maybe you want to stagger your feet. We're going to move a little. So we lower our hips. Inhale and lower. Inhale here. Exhale and reach. And lift up. And lift up. And lift up. One more. And lift and take 3 breaths here. And then come back through the center. Pause. Breathing in, breathing out. And wrapping the lats around the ribs. We'll take it to the other side. To your left side. Over on that left arm, reach the right fingertips to the ceiling. Do what you want to do with your feet. Maybe you're in the modified position here. Either way, Belly button to your spine. Lift out of that supporting arm as you lower your hips. Take an inhale. Exhale and reach. And lift. And lift. Inhale. And exhale. And exhale. One more. Hold it up. Come through that plank position. And you can modify this as well as we chaturanga and vinyasa through. Maybe now you're in up dog. Maybe you lift your knees off the mat, all 10 toes face down. Inhale, exhale, lift up. And let those heels just float towards the floor. Head hangs heavy, lift your belly. Breathe in, breathe out. And this time when we lift our leg, we're gonna add our little flipping the dog if you feel like it. So make sure those hands are spread wide. You're lifting out of the heels of your hands. You're firming up those arms. Take your right leg up behind you. And when you bend that knee this time, maybe you stay here. If you want to flip your dog, how about bringing your shoulder over your wrist and then taking it over and reaching through those fingertips. Couple of deep breaths here. 2, maybe 3. And bring it back to your three-legged dog. Inhale, exhale, right foot between your hands. Turn your left toes up towards the upper corner. Reach up to warrior one. Now again, I want you to respect the body that you came in with. So we push our feet in opposite directions on the floor. Into that left knife edge of the foot and the big toe, firming up that back leg. Into this front foot so we can see our big toe. Hips might be a little turned here. Maybe they're square. Try to bring your rib cage to the center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let's open up those shoulders. Maybe your hands are on the small of your back. Maybe they hold on to your opposite elbows. Maybe you interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders back. Chest to the ceiling. Let's do a humble warrior here. Inhale, exhale, bring it down. Inside that front foot. Push into the knife edge of your left leg. Lift your abs as you come back up, firming up that glute. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale. Now I want you to keep your hands where they are, wherever that is. So you could even just be holding on to your elbows or have them on the small of your back. Lift up to your warrior three, okay? So we bring our left leg up behind us with our hands wherever they are. Maybe you turn those toes out a little, engaging that abductor muscle. Maybe you drop your left hip a tad and lift your abs. And then once you find balance, let go of those arms. You might reach them towards the wall behind you. Inhale, exhale. And let's bend the knee and come up to a knee to the front pose, hands heart center. Inhale, exhale. So we've done quite a bit already, so we should be a little warm. So let's practice taking that leg out to the side and then to the center for 2. And just focus on a drishti, some point in front of you. As you bring it back to the front, look out onto your floor, like out in front of you, so nothing's moving. And let's take that into a figure 4 and practice some balance, some heat, some uncomfortable feelings. And stay with them as we sit back into that standing leg and practice some balance. Maybe you want to hold here. Maybe you're thinking, this feels pretty good, I could use a deeper stretch. In which case, just reach forward. Now you can use your blocks again if you can't touch the floor, if your hands don't touch the floor. You can use your blocks, sit back, and maybe straighten that leg and let your head drop. Inhale, exhale, get a long stretch through the IT band. All right, I'm gonna give you a little arm balance here. So your hands are flat. If they're flat, you might bend the knee quite a lot. Let's see if I face this way, you can see. Hook your foot around your tricep, all right? Hands flat on the floor. Elbows bend towards you as you hook that left foot around your right tricep. So your elbows bend in and your face comes out over the floor, and just see if you can lift that foot, those toes behind you. Now if you have a more advanced place you want to go, like a flying pigeon, you go right ahead. If not, if you're like that's going enough to the edge for you, then you just go there. If you're like, yeah, no, not today, then don't do it at all. Bring yourself back to the center whenever you're ready, and let's rise back up. And maybe we lift that foot to the inside of our inner thigh. This is a lot of work here. So if you need to pause, take a Tadasana and just pause there for a moment. Let your nervous system settle down. We're going to do one more, okay? So find your tree. Inhale, exhale. Maybe grow some branches as you lift through your belly, pressing the sole of that left foot to the inside of your right leg. And then let's bring the knee to the front and drop it down so that it's level with the other knee. Reach your left hand back. You can hold on to the inside or the outside of your foot, and then just kick back into your hand and see what happens. You never know. If you start to tip forward, lift those toes towards the ceiling and gaze out past your middle right finger and see if you can find a dancer pose here. Inhale, exhale, opening up across the front side of that body, and just you do you. Take a couple of breaths, see how it goes. And if you fall over, it's okay. That's what it's all about. Getting comfortable. Being comfortable with, what did I read today? Get comfortable with doing something new badly. Be brave enough, that's it. Be brave if you're feeling it. If you're not, if you're like, I've had enough being brave lately, then that's okay. Bring it back to Tadasana and just take a moment. Inhale, exhale. Let that nervous system settle down. And then, let's take a deep breath. In, rise up, palms come together, reach back. Exhale, swan dive over. Step back into your plank position, chaturanga and vinyasa through, and then meet me back in down dog. Inhale, exhale, lift out of those hands. Rotate those shoulder heads in the shoulder socket, and the insides of your elbows are facing each other. If they're not, maybe you adjust your hands a little, because everybody's skeleton is put together in a different way. Think of making your back wide through the shoulder blades, lifting your lower abs, and just floating back into those heels. Take a moment, inhale, exhale, and then lift that left leg up and bend your knee, opening up your hips again. And if you're feeling like flipping your dog, maybe rock forward and get the shoulder over your wrist first, and then flip it over and reach through your fingertips. And bring it back. Three-legged dog. Inhale, exhale, foot between your hands. Turn your right toes up towards that upper right corner. Press your feet in opposite directions. So you're creating tension, firming up the legs. Lift the abs. Bring your rib cage to the center. Rise up with those arms. Inhale. Exhale, open up your chest, and you do you with your hands. Maybe you interlace your fingers, maybe you don't. Inhale, exhale, humble warrior. Push back into the knife edge of your right foot as you lower and take an inhale and rise back up. Exhale, forward. And this time let's bring it to that warrior three. Whatever position your hands are in. All right, inhale, exhale. Wherever those hands are, lift that leg behind you. Maybe you turn the toes out a little to engage your abductor. That's the muscle here in your glute that rotates the leg out, and it keeps your knees over your toes where they're supposed to be. And inhaling, exhaling, reach through your fingertips, find balance, and then maybe bend that knee and bring it to the center, hands to heart center. And then we get to do all of that stuff on the left side. So our knee is lifted, lift up here. Think of a string out of the top of your head. If this isn't good, maybe your hands can go to your hips. Whatever works. Bring the leg to the side and to the center. Inhale, exhale. And then once again, and back to the front as we go toward that figure four. And then we practice pressing the arms together and sitting back into our heel, into our little squat. Just taking it wherever you want to. If just the balancing act is enough discomfort emotionally and physically for you, then that's fine. If you want to do a little deeper stretch, maybe you reach the floor, maybe use your blocks to raise the floor, and just get that kind of like a standing pigeon stretch. Pausing for a moment, and if you want to do the arm balance, hands, fingertips straight ahead, elbows bend in, hook that foot around your tricep there, and remember to bring your weight forward so your face is over the floor, and lift that belly, and then just take an opportunity to lift those toes, and of course take it into whatever pose you want to go from here. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Go to the edge, take a chance, see what happens. If you fall down, it's okay. You can always get back up. And then once you've done that and you want to come back to your standing position, as you come back out of your little arm balance or no arm balance, whatever the case may be, rise back up and see if you can bring that foot to the inside of your left leg. Now, if it's one side's always easier. And if you're not finding balance there, maybe move your foot towards your calf. Or maybe use it as a kickstand, toes to the floor. That's always an option. As you lift up out of the crown of your head, maybe grow some branches. Notice all the adjustments that your body makes as you ground your feet to the mat. Firm up that leg. Lift yourself through the center. Press the foot to the inside of your standing leg and find your balance. You want to make sure that your foot that's off the floor is below or above your knee, not pushing on the inside of your knee. And then we come back to the dancer pose. So you might want to hold on to a wall. You can do that as well. So maybe you put your hand on the wall and bring your knee down to meet the other. Reach around and hold on wherever you want to hold on. Kick back into your hand and just see what happens if you can lift yourself up. And maybe find a drishti focal point here out in front of you. Maybe gaze over the middle finger of that hand. And when you're done, you find yourself back in your Tadasana. Whew, breathe in, breathe out. That was some good heat you generated there. So now we're going to take another vinyasa. Inhale, arms up, palms come together through heart center, forward fold, and take it back to that plank position. Chaturanga and vinyasa through, and meet me back in down dog. All right, you can always take a child's pose too. So if you're getting to where it's like too much and you want to take a moment here. If you're fine and you want to stay here, stay here. If you want to get off your hands, come to dolphin, come to dolphin. Lift out of those shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out. And then rise back up. So whenever you're ready, meet me back in down dog here. Take that right leg up. Inhale. Exhale, bring the foot between your hands. Pivot that back foot so that it's going to be parallel to the short end of your mat. And rise up. Cartwheel those arms so you're in a warrior two. So we push into the knife edge of that foot, firming up this leg. Push into the front foot so that you can see your big toe so that knee comes back. You lift through your abs. Turn that rib cage to the side. Push those feet in opposite directions, creating tension here. Firm up your arms so I can't come around and push them down. Right palm up. Inhale, exhale to peaceful warrior. We go up and over like a lateral stretch. Inhale. Exhale like you're going up over a big beach ball. One more time. Push those feet. Inhale, exhale. Straighten your right leg and reach through the right fingertips for your side archer, sky archer, or a reverse triangle, whatever way you want to call it. Inhale, exhale. Let's lift up and tip it over into a triangle pose. So we want to push our left hip back, lift our abs, and rotate the rib cage because your hips can't really, your lower back doesn't twist at all, okay? Just right below that thoracic, right where your thoracic rib cage or vertebra start, right below that lower rib, kind of, you get a little degree of turn, and that's where you want to work from. So this hand is really just resting here. Someone's got you by the left hand, they're pulling you up. That automatically lifts your shoulders and engages your core. So find your triangle position. Maybe you're up here. Maybe you need to bend the knee a little. That's all okay. Maybe you can reach down, hook your first two fingers around that big toe and get your triangle there. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. And then let's revolve it. Bring your left hand down on the inside of your right foot and lift out of the floor. Lift your lower abs as you turn and look towards that back wall. Inhale, exhale. Maybe you can even wrap that arm around your waist and open up a little more through the shoulders. Totally up to you. And once you've gotten that, we're going to go to our half moon. So come around, back to the triangle position, bend your right knee. Maybe you want to block out there. Bring your fingers to that block. And maybe you want to take your hand to your hip, just while you stabilize getting into this position. Maybe turning the toes a little so you firm up that abductor again. Maybe your fingertips reach to the ceiling. Maybe you can look up, maybe not. That's okay, whichever works for you. As you find balance here, I want you to stay. Breathe. Experience being uncomfortable. Maybe you want to add to this by reaching around and grabbing that foot and opening up through your hip here. Inhale, exhale. All of these are options. And then let it go. Pivot so you're in a standing split. Flex that left foot behind you. And let's bend both knees and bring the knee behind the front leg. Inhale, exhale, try to straighten your legs. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten those legs. Inhale, bend, exhale, and straighten up. Inhale, exhale, extend, and bring that foot down to meet the right. And just hang for a second in a ragdoll pose. Maybe bend your knees. Let your body rest on your thighs. Maybe hold on to your opposite elbows. Maybe sway side to side. Whatever feels good to you. Inhaling, exhaling. Let go of those hands. Let your head hang heavy. Maybe give it another nod. Yes. Another shake to the no. And breathe in, breathe out. Let's go through another vinyasa. Inhale, half lift. This time we're going to exhale, forward fold, and step back to that plank position. Chaturanga. And vinyasa through. And meet me back in down dog. Spread those fingers really wide. Imagine making your back wide. Imagine lifting out of your thumbs. Maybe gripping the mat with the pads of your fingers. Breathing in, breathing out, and lifting up towards the ceiling. This is my favorite phrase, an active recovery. It's not a resting pose. So, if you need a rest, take a rest in a child's pose. This time, let's lift that left leg up behind you. Inhale, exhale, bring it between your hands, pivot the back foot, rise up, cartwheel those arms to your warrior two on the left. This back foot parallel to the short end. Firm up that leg by pushing into the knife edge of the foot and the big toe joint. Push into that front foot, press that knee back. Lift your abs. Firm up your arms so that you're strong. Warrior. Yes. Palm up. Inhale, exhale, up and back over that beach ball. Inhale, reach, exhale. See if you can make it more of a lateral and less of a back bend. Inhale, exhale, and we stay and straighten the left leg. Reach through those fingertips in your reversed triangle, firming those legs up. Lift through the abs as you come up and take it over into your triangle, pushing your right hip back towards the wall behind you. Reach your right hand up. Take your left hand to your left shin and lift up. Imagine like someone's got you by the hand. So your shoulders, your rib cage just rotates on its own effortlessly. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe this hand stays here. Maybe it slides towards your foot. Maybe you reach your two fingers around your big toe. Take a couple of breaths here as you adjust, maybe shifting your hips a little so they're more lined up with your legs, not sticking out behind you. And we have to get our deep rotation to revolve that triangle. Take the right hand to the mat and make sure your heels in line with the instep of that back foot. Press out of this hand and reach to the ceiling. Get a little rotation from the rib cage. Bring that hand behind you if you want. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then reach. And come back down. And let's go into that half moon again, or Ardha Chandrasana, as we bring our, maybe you need a block. You're going to bend that knee, kind of shift your weight forward, and maybe take your hand to your hip if that feels more secure. As you work on lifting up and out, you can even do this against a wall so that you don't fall over, but falling over is totally acceptable. This is the one place you can fall over. Reach your fingertips to the ceiling. Lift yourself out of that standing leg. Stay. Just be and breathe through the discomfort. And know that you are not alone in any uncomfortable situation. It's never just us. So then, if you want to grab that foot and kick it around, open up a little here. You can. Breathe deep. And then release it and pivot toward the standing leg for your standing splits. And then bend and lift out of that leg. Inhale, exhale to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, lift up. And up again, and bring that foot down to meet the left. And just hang for a moment. Holding on to those opposite elbows. Maybe sway side to side. And since we're here, let's go ahead and open up those hips a little more. Toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your mat. And just maybe do a couple of warm-ups. Bend and straighten for your yoga squat or malasana. And maybe your heels touch the floor. Maybe they don't. Bring those hands to heart center. Press them together. Open up your chest. Drop those sit bones toward the ceiling and imagine that there's a string again out of the crown of your head holding you up tall. And let's take a couple of standing and squatting all the way back down. I like this actually. This helped me quite a bit to gain the strength and flexibility to really rotate my leg bones in the hip socket to open up to get in this position. So inhale, interlace those fingers. Rise up, squeeze those glutes. Inhale, exhale. And I want you to inhale again as you lower. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up to the ceiling. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up. Keep your body as long as possible. You might have to adjust your feet. 3. Inhale, exhale for 2. One more. And 1. And bring it back down. All right, since we did all that twisting and stuff already, might as well keep it going. So thumbs towards the floor. Reach that right arm out here and the left up towards the ceiling. Maybe this is as far as you want to go. If you want to do a bind, thumb toward the mat, wrap it around that leg. Take the left arm and wrap it around your waist and see if your hands will meet. And then if they do, try to open up your shoulders towards the ceiling, the left shoulder. So you're trying to keep a long spine while internally rotating those arms and getting a little length through the waist. Take a breath or two there. Come back through the center. And then maybe try it on the other side. Inhale, exhale, reach up. And then turn the thumb towards the mat. Wrap it around that bent leg. Left thumb down, or right thumb down, and it wraps around your waist as you try to hold on to your hands and see if you can practice the bind here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a practice, not a performance. You know, I'm not, as you can tell, perfect. So, you know, do your thing. Take a couple of breaths, and when you're ready, bring it back to the center. Inhaling, exhaling, and then let's bring our hands to the mat and walk them around, or, okay, you're here, so your hands are here. Take your left hand back, your left leg back, and your right leg is in front. And we'll get a little deep stretch. Before we go towards that lizard pose, let's take our left knee to the mat, left hand inside the right foot, and just give it a little twist here. Now our twisting is really warm today. We've done a lot of it, so maybe you just reach up. Maybe you want to reach your arm back. Maybe you're feeling like you could use more of a quad stretch. Maybe you press those heels towards your glute. Whatever works. And then release it and bring that hand on the inside of your right leg. And then we're just going to work our way down towards the floor, okay? And you can do the same thing here with your block. If you want to raise the floor, bring it up and hold here. You could turn your right leg a little out, open up that knee the best way that you need to. Just find a position and breathe and stay. Maybe you walk your toes out to the end of the mat if you're pretty flexy already, and get that leg up over your shoulder and thread the right arm around and then the left hand on top, and your forehead comes towards the floor and we breathe there. Inhale, exhale, and then find your way back up. Take your right hand on the outside of that right leg. And let's do a little half split here. Inhale, exhale. You want to bend and straighten that leg. Avoid sitting back on your heel. Try to keep your hip over your knee. Body is close to that leg. So a good way, if your hamstrings are super tight, is just to practice the bend and the straighten. If you're already down here and you have forearms on either side of your leg on the floor, maybe you want to go for a full split. And maybe you've been thinking, well, I know that I can practice this, right? But I can't get all the way down yet because it's really hard. Like maybe you're still up. So raise the floor. This will really help. Use those blocks. Support your body with your arms. And then just you control how fast you get there. Yeah? Inhale, exhale. And as you rise back up, shift to your right hip, swing that left leg around, and let's cross it over. Take the foot over your right leg, pull it in close, wrap your right arm around your thigh, left arm comes up and behind you. So my right arm's wrapped around, left hand's here. It's gonna push and lift me up on top of my sit bone. Inhale, straight up through the crown of my head, and gently twist. Now, if you want to go farther, reach that right arm up, take the elbow outside that thigh, and get a little deeper twist here. And then, of course, if you have a bind here, this one I do not have, but thumb towards the mat, wrap it around, other arm goes behind you, and you can hold hands that way. Yes, you can. Anywho, take a couple of more breaths and bring it back through the center. Shake those legs out. And we'll swing around to the other side. Right leg behind, left leg in front. Let's start in that really low lunge. Take your right hand inside the left leg. Give it a twist towards the back. Maybe this is all you need. Maybe this is what you need. Maybe this is what you need. Whatever it is. You do you. And practice your practice. And then let it go. Bringing the left hand inside that left foot. And then again, you're going to go for our little lizard. So maybe your forearms come down to the mat already. Maybe you need a block or two to raise the floor and hold here. Whatever works for you. Maybe you're really flexible and you want to walk those toes out and take that knee up over your shoulder, wrapping that hand around, and just let your body weight, gravity, and your body weight into the stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. And then unwind and bring it up, left arm outside the left leg, and go for that half split. So this is a stretch. Hamstrings, you really need to practice every day if you want to improve your flexibility here. Inhale, exhale, just bend and straighten. I'm gonna tell you something that I do not mean to be disheartening or discouraging. However, some people just have short hamstrings. I mean, it's just the way that it is. So there's no comparison, you know, it's just like some people lift heavy weight. Not everybody's made to do that. Some people run really long distances. Not everybody's made to do that. So you gotta find your best whatever. And then of course, if you wanna take your full split, then you do that. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. And bring that right leg around, left leg in front, right foot over the top, right hand up and back, lifts your chest up, left arm wraps around and you give it a little twist. Maybe it comes up and over, fingers toward the ceiling. Inhale, exhale. Couple of deep breaths here. And then bring it back through the center. Knees into your chest and let's roll back and just rock side to side. Maybe forward and back. And let's do, instead of just your regular Navasana, let's take those knees in since you're on your back and bring your right leg into your chest. Let me face this way. Right leg in, left leg extends out over the floor. I want you to try, just do your best, to straighten the leg that goes out over the floor. It doesn't have to be way down there, it can be up here. But instead of just letting them hang like that, see if you can complete the motion and lengthen your leg. So we hold on to this shin, the right shin. Inhale, exhale, close your rib cage, belly button to your spine, and lift using those abs. So if you're really flexible, avoid doing it close like this. Make it so that you've got to use your abs to get to that thigh. Crunch for 2 and lift 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 for 2 and lift. One more and up. We're going to go straight legs as best as you can. Lift and lift and up. 2 and lift. 2, lift, 2, lift, 2. Close that rib cage. 2 and crunch. 2 and crunch. One more up and lift. Fingertips behind your head. Yoga bicycle. So try to look way back behind you and bring that elbow maybe outside that knee. Inhale, exhale. Pull the rib cage close, pull the belly button to your spine and crunch. 3 and 2 and 1. Bring your knees in and hug them in. Maybe rock side to side. Maybe you want to do a happy baby here. Whatever you're feeling at this moment, straighten your legs maybe. And then let's get our bridge. So your feet will be flat on the floor. Press into that big toe mound. Inhaling, exhaling. I'm going to do a little therapeutic move here, okay, before you go into the regular bridge. So this is a good modified thing to do if the whole bridge pose staying there is challenging. Don't worry if your feet are not all the way up close to your glutes. Do keep them in line with your hips. We'll inhale as we roll up our spine. So we're going to articulate up our spine and then articulate back down. Inhale up. Press into the big toe mound. Squeeze your glutes. Exhale, pull your abs in and create space in each vertebra as you roll and try to hit each one all the way down. Inhale up and exhale, roll down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, roll all the way down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, roll all the way down. Now, if you want to continue just doing that, do that. If you want to do a full-on bridge, that's what you're going to do next. If you have a back bend in your practice, be my guest. So, inhale, exhale. Let's lift those hips. You can put a block under here and get your hips up there while you're building the strength, you know, to hold them up. Try to roll your shoulders up under your back so you're off your neck. Push into the big toe joint to keep those feet flat and keep the legs in line with your hips. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's get it like 3 deep breaths. And then roll through your spine. Maybe take the soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall apart in a little cobbler's, reclined cobbler's pose. Maybe you want to put your left hand above your belly button, right hand below. Or reverse it, whichever feels more natural. And just close your eyes and allow your practice to settle in. Let your breathing return to normal. Let your body absorb all the new neuro pathways that probably got created today. Allow yourself to feel successful, knowing that you did the best you could today. Knowing that you are enough, right here, right now, in this moment. Continue to breathe, letting your eyes stay closed, and maybe extend your legs into Shavasana and allow your arms to come to your sides, palms to the ceiling. So you're extended over the mat. Shoulder blades flatten against your upper back. You might dome your chest a little to make that happen. Maybe rock your head side to side. Find that sweet spot on your skull. And just allow yourself to breathe and to be still. In this pose of Shavasana, a pose of complete stillness. This is a pose where we can practice acceptance of the way things are exactly at this moment. If this pose is difficult for you to be still, like if you're jumping up, turning off the video, going, yeah, I'm not doing that. As the yogi masters like to say, then you need to do it for 2 hours. But I can tell you something that will help. They make those gravity blankets now, and those are worthwhile. If you want to practice being still, which is very important, and find it difficult, get yourself a 25-pound gravity blanket and lay it across your body as you lay in Shavasana. It will help you bring yourself inside your body and stay there, grounded to the earth. Inhaling and exhaling. Just take a moment to reflect, to accept where you are, right here, right now. To be secure and safe in your own space, in your own life. And then bring your knees into your chest and roll onto your favorite side and come up to your comfortable seat of Sukhasana again. Bringing your hands to heart center, thumbs resting against your sternum or your breastbone. Close those eyes one more time or just gaze towards your hands, maybe tipping your chin towards your heart, toward your hands. Inhale, exhale. Feeling good and better than before. Inhale, take a deep breath, reach up, fill your lungs. Exhale.